Steph on Steph's Rock Show on Spotify with Jonny of Social Arsonist. Thank you for coming by.
Hey, Steph, thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Of course. So, okay, I'm digging this. It's like Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd. I can see like one half of your face. You're in like a cave. What is this going on? Like, how did you make this?
Yeah, so honestly, this is my closet. This is where I do my recordings for vocals and everything, my little videos. I'm actually in the process of making another room, but for now, I just got my little black sheet backdrop and got my little light over here projecting this way.
That's badass. So you're in the closet. You haven't come out of the closet yet.
Right, exactly. Maybe one day.
Oh, that's neat. I know I set up in my bedroom, but then I switched downstairs because I needed more lighting. But I like that. I like your lighting because I feel like I look better when it's darker. I don't want to actually be seen too much. Okay, so I read you started in 2010. I like the way you said groove thrash metal. Like what sets apart from just regular thrash metal to groove thrash metal?
Well, if you listen to the lyrics or the sound of it, you got that groove aspect, kind of like a Lamb of God vibe, where they're considered groove, and you can kind of, just, bounce a little bit to it. And then, of course, the thrash part, you're going to have fast blast beats and all that too. So all that combined into one song is, pretty much what we're looking at doing, and taking a lot of old school things and putting in, making it new, just kind of combining it all together as a mashup.
Nice. So when did you start singing?
So that's the fun part there. Actually, like really legit trying was only 4 years ago.
Oh, dang. And you're like what, 2021 right now? So
Yeah. My age?
yeah, no, you don't have to say it. It's okay. I don't say mine.
No, I'm in my 40s, so thank you.
So cool. So this is a later in life. You discovered that you like singing, you're good at singing, and you want to do it. How did you find out like, oh, I want to sing?
Okay, so this is something I've been wanting to do ever since I was a kid anyways. But life sucks for a lot of us. We come through with hardships or whatever. It just wasn't on the table for me at the time to really have the time to put it in there, because like everything was a crisis, man, pretty much. But sometime around 2020, the COVID, all that happened, and I didn't really have a lot going on at the time. Just went through a divorce, so I had like a lot of time on my hands. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this, because I'm always doing it in the car or whatever, in the shower, bless the neighbors. But, just practicing that. And then one day I was like, let me just record and see what it sounds like. And it was actually a Slipknot song. I think I did pretty terrible, but I was like, you know what? I'm just going to post it and just see what happens. And I actually did get a lot of positive feedback from it. And I was like, well, no crap. Okay. And then I started trying a little bit more recording, but how I actually got the nerve to start singing was like during the military. We would go out to like random bars or whatever on the weekend. And they had like this country karaoke bar, and I was like, screw it, I'm gonna get up here and try this. So
Yeah.
I started karaokeing some country, and then I don't know, I just kind of went from there. And then, like I was saying, with these videos, record myself, and I was listening to it, I was like, okay, that's terrible. So that's pretty much how I learned, is just listening and then going back and listening to myself, making modifications, changing, and pretty much went from there. And then I was doing it incorrectly a lot of the times when I first started, and like it was destroying my throat. And I was like, okay, this is not correct. So I started researching, talking to other folks. I actually got some lessons and stuff like that, and figured out how to do, proper technique. And it pretty much just took off from there.
That's really neat. I like later in life. Hey, I just started a podcast and I don't know what I'm doing, and it's fun. It's kind of like radio, but it's similar.
Right.
So I want to know about TikTok because like I said, I just got on TikTok like 4 months ago. You go live, you've got this huge following there. Like, what's the secret? Is there a time when to go live or what to post, or how did you, get together and get a following on TikTok?
Well, it started a few years before 2020. I was kind of messing around with it, picked up some followers, just kind of looking, whatever. Then I got off of it because it was kind of annoying. And then got back on, and I was, had a few videos, whatever, and just kind of started throwing those on there. And slowly started building, like a slow following. And then I got to about 1,000 followers. And then I came across a guy named Johnny Miller. I think you know of him.
Yeah, yeah, that's what my friend Robin said. You gotta follow Johnny Miller. He's really great. He goes live all the time and does guitar. And my friend Robin's trying to learn guitar too. So that's cool that in the community we all live in such different places, but we know of each other or follow each other.
right, right. So that's how it happened. One of his guys in the Mad Men or whatever kind of kept giving me positive feedback whenever, and he's like, hey, you should check out this group or whatever. So I didn't really know what I was doing either. I was just throwing music on there, had no what direction, any idea where to go with it. And then I found the community in the Mad Men of Metal. And that's just a bunch of musicians together, putting videos on, duetting each other, things like that. And then Jonny invited me in to join. So from there, I just kept on, posting more videos, and it slowly started, building or whatever. So like right now I'm only like 34,000, but
That's really cool though. That's badass. Do you have coworkers that know what you do and follow you on TikTok?
yes, I do.
What do
Yeah.
they say about it?
So that's funny too. My boss, so he actually likes the music, and he's really cool about far as me touring and everything. So like anytime I need off, like I took off today, to come do this. But pretty much anytime I need off, it's all good. And a lot of the guys, like I would practice, just around them random times to start, doing some gutturals or something. They're always like, dude, what are you doing? I'm like, hey, just practice it, man. But yeah,
Yeah.
they dig it.
Scaring, that's cute. Do you have a favorite musician to mimic or to cover?
Um, for sure. What really got me inspired into singing was definitely Randy Blythe, for sure.
Yeah.
Lamb of
What
God.
about band-wise? Like, what are your top 5 bands?
Okay. That's hard.
Yeah. Or that you like to sing, maybe not just go
Okay.
see live or listen to, but that you're like, "Oh, vocally, I could do that."
Okay. Sure. So definitely Lamb of God, Lorna Shore, um, Whitechapel, and I've been trying to do a lot of cleans here lately, but those are definitely my top three. And I can't really think of the other two right offhand, but I can come up with something in a second. But
I saw you do some Bush, that was badass.
yeah,
What state are you in?
I'm in Alabama.
Oh, Alabama, the South. What's up? That's cool.
Yeah. So
Um,
I'm sorry.
oh, no, no, that's okay, go ahead.
I was just going to mention something about that. When I was touring in South America last year, like people would ask me where I was from, and I'd be like Alabama, and there's like Alabama, and I'm like Forrest Gump, and they're like, oh, okay. So that's how I like explain where I'm from. So
They got it, Forrest Gump. I was gonna say, have you ever, driven out to Texas and Nashville and, like, played there?
not yet.
So
So
you went straight
hopefully,
to South America and you just skipped the rest of the South?
so a side note, my first time ever singing on stage live was in South America. So like I show up,
Wow.
and it's like, all right, let's get it, and then we did it.
Were you a drug mule? How did that happen and come about?
No, so it's kind of a long story, but I can break it down. So these crappy videos I was talking about, I was throwing on online. I put one on YouTube. I was doing a Lamb of God cover. Like I've deleted it since because it was bad. But this random person reached out to me. He's like, "Hey, bro, would you mind putting lyrics to a song if I send you a song and try it out?" I was like, "Sure, man, why not?" And at first I thought dude was just catfishing. It's like who'd want to have me sing or whatever. So I was like, "Sure." So they sent me the song. I actually wrote the lyrics probably in less than a week, put them to it and sent him like a little demo. And he was like, dude, I love it. Would you want to do, put the song out there and, maybe look at our band or whatever. And I was still at that point, I was like, nah, bro, like you're full of crap. And then I started doing a
You
little
gotta believe in
research.
yourself.
Yeah. It's wild. But then like I was doing the research and, it was Social Arsonist. Um, and then here I am today from that. So that's how I got started with that. So he is actually from South America. He lives in Chile. The guitarist, he's the original founding member of Social Arsonist. And that's kind of how that happened. He's still there now. And we're in the process of getting him and the bass player over here to the States so we can actually tour here.
They need to go on Craigslist and get married to some random hot chicks in America and get over
Right.
here.
Right.
Yeah.
Basically at this point I was like, dude, just come across the border, man. Like just come on.
Well, with this administration right now, you could walk right in. They might get better benefits than I'm getting at
Right.
work.
Right.
So What state have you visited outside of Alabama that you've really enjoyed?
Um, well, I've been to Cali before. I was actually the military there, so I was like Fort Irwin, so I didn't really get to experience a lot of it. Um, Georgia, Tennessee, anything around surrounding Alabama, I've been. New Mexico was really cool. I got to go snowboarding up in Santa Fe. That was neat. Um,
What
I
branch of the
would
military?
say again,
What branch of the military?
Army National Guard. So I joined when I was 17 in high school. I was one of those. So
Dang, that's
yeah,
great. Did you get married like 4 times while serving?
absolutely.
I feel like
Yeah,
that's like I love dating military guys. I lived in Monterey and I didn't realize in Monterey, California, it's like a military base pretty much. And
right.
every time on the second or third date, they're like, "So do you want to get married? How many kids do you want to have?" And I'm in like my early 20s. So I'm just like, "No, dude, I'm just trying to have a drink maybe and then go home and go to bed." But I don't what is it with now it's funny now that I do want to settle down that I'm older, where are all these military guys that wanted to marry me 20 years ago? I need to go find them or
Yeah,
I need to go outside of military bases and hang out.
right. So the chances are you're probably going to have to go the younger route with that because people
Yeah.
our age have probably done been through it and they're like, okay, I'm done with this. So it's going to be hit or miss.
Yeah. Yeah, they're jaded. I'm looking for my 3rd marriage and everyone else is like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm done." But I don't know.
Right.
Can we do fun questions?
All right.
Okay. Would you choose a coffee or energy drink? Oh my god, that's what you literally it's Monster energy drink for you. I like those,
Yeah.
but I get shaky. So I have my coffee because I do have energy drinks, but like I can't go to bed. They affect me so
Oh,
much.
really? Okay. Yeah, I can go to sleep right after.
Oh
I
my
guess that's
god.
bad.
No, I'm like, I will be talking your ear off for like 4 hours. Do you go to the gym at home or out at like a national gym?
It's a hometown gym, like a mom and pop place.
Yeah, but you like to leave the house and work out?
For sure. Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought about doing the in-house thing during COVID, but I actually found a place that would let me go. So I do like to actually go out, stay away from home a little bit, to work out.
Do you think the gym's a good place to meet people?
Um, I guess it depends on what you're looking for, but I would say probably not.
Because I've heard that it's a place to meet people, but I'm like gross and focused on working out. So I don't
Right.
like
So
how
that
do you
that would
just
be
put a
my
weight
thing.
down and be like, "Hey, do you want to drink like while you're I don't I've never done it, but my friends
Right.
have. So
Right.
apparently I'm missing the boat. Okay, what do you like better, alcohol or weed? Or
Um,
neither?
I don't really drink and don't smoke, so if I had to,
Dang. What do you do for fun?
um, well, I go to the gym. I have a terrible addiction to Call of Duty at 40 years
Mm,
old, but
so do my kids. They're maybe you
yeah,
play them. They're on Call of Duty all the time.
yeah, that's probably those little kids that'll be cussing out and stuff,
Mhm.
be waxing
No,
them.
they're the little kids cussing you out.
Okay,
They're crazy.
yeah,
So you Call of Duty and gym?
yeah, yeah.
Where the
Family
hoes at?
time.
Are the hoes in there too?
Oh, I don't know. I'm married. I
You
don't keep up with them, so
Oh, good,
yeah,
good. Okay, then no
yeah,
hoes, just the wifey.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm a straight and narrow type of man now. So
That's good, that's good. See, I like alcohol and young hoes, so I am not on the straight and narrow right now. I like all the young
okay,
hoes. Okay. Oh, well, I was gonna ask you, but you're married. I guess how you met dating apps or in person?
in person for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't wanna get murdered.
Right.
Um, oh, would you date an OnlyFans model?
No, no,
No. I think
good.
that's a bad idea when someone can Google your checks, like,
Yeah.
naked. I don't know. That'd be a fight at the bar. Okay,
Right.
if you had to pick between Bush or Alice in Chains.
Allison James.
Yeah. Can you sing some Alice in Chains?
I was actually listening the other day, and I think I might be able to pull it off, but I
You've
think
got
so.
that deep, raspy voice that could probably
Mm,
growl with it.
oh, thanks. I'm still trying to develop it. It's one of those things. Clean singing and gutturals or distorted type. Growling is way different. It's kind of the same, but it's different if that makes sense. But
I know. So I don't sing, but I just interviewed a lot of singers in the past, and they've had to have a lot of vocal surgeries because they've been using their voice wrong. And so learning how to undo pretty much the way they've been singing for years so they don't need a second surgery. And that fascinates me. You don't want to hear me sing. I'm fucking nuts. only when I'm really wasted and I'm doing karaoke, and I do Weird Al, and it's just so bad that you
Okay, I was about
gotta
to
laugh.
ask you then, what's your drunken karaoke song of choice then?
It's Amish Paradise by Weird Al, because when it starts,
Yeah,
everyone's like, "It's Gangster's Paradise for sure. This
yeah,
little white girl is gonna do it." And then I go hard with "As I walk through the valley where I harvest my grain," and everyone's just like, "What is going on?" Like, I'm
right.
such a dork. Okay, on a road trip, do you wanna play music or silence?
Um, definitely music.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. If it's silent, if I'm driving, we're gonna be in the ditch. So yeah,
Yeah, I need music. Even in the house, if I'm not doing a podcast right now, I have music blasting, like,
right.
afterwards.
Yeah,
Keeps the
every
thoughts
time I'm
out.
in a vehicle, music is full blast. Yep.
Yeah. What's your favorite talk podcast?
Um, I've actually. What do you mean, like where they interview folks?
Yeah.
Um, okay. Well, I have been listening recently to one that's about like exorcism. That was
Okay.
that was kind of neat. Like Joe Rogan. Everybody likes Joe Rogan,
I love
but
him.
yeah.
I love
Unfortunately, I
Theo
don't really listen
Vaughn.
to a lot of podcasts though.
Really? That's
Right.
all I do in the morning. Like, the first couple hours, I'm listening to podcasts, and it's like Tim Dillon and Tucker Carlson and Joe Rogan are some of my favorites. But
Uh
cream
huh.
ups, and that's how I get my news now. I used to go downstairs, turn the TV on, watch the news, and I realized I haven't watched the news for maybe a year. I just listen to podcasts and they update me, and then
Right.
I just regurgitate it on mine. So it's kind of fun.
I think there's one called the Tinfoil Hat. I think is what
I've
it's called.
never heard of that.
I listen to it forever. It's all like conspiracy theory stuff, so it'll take you
That's
in
cool.
the
I
rabbit hole
like conspiracy theories, so you're into that.
for sure. Yeah.
What are some of the conspiracy theories that you're like, "I'm on board"?
Oh boy. Um,
Aliens, flat Earth, JFK, moon landings, like, what all the
JFK for sure. Moon
yeah.
landing for sure. Um, I would say 9/11, but I'm just gonna keep that on the low for a bit.
That one interests me. Like, I like to deep dive into them and
mhm,
research, like, them and learn about why they could have not happened, or there's an alternative motive. But then I don't give a fuck. That's where I'm
right,
at. Like, I just don't give that much of a fuck. And then my
right,
friends, it's funny, my other friends that I used to do radio with that have podcasts are heated. They're like, "This was fake and this is all corrupt and the government." And I'm like, "Cool, dude. I'm gonna go smoke and go to bed." Like, I just don't. I want
right,
to hear about it. I want to learn about it, but I'm not passionate about, like, I kind of think we're in the matrix and everything's fucked anyways. So I'm just not
right. It
making a
does
big
feel
deal
like
about
it.
it. What is there a conspiracy theory that I might not have heard about that that's like kind of on the DL?
Um, I mean, there's really a lot. As far as the JFK thing, how far or how much do you know about that?
I mean, I don't know. I've listened to a lot of podcasts and like years ago that basically though he's still alive was one of them. Another one was that it was set up to kill him to get him out of office. Like there's been different takes even on
Right.
what happened. So
Oh, okay. So one of the things that stuck out with me about that is probably separate of maybe probably why he had been assassinated. But there was something I think it was called like Operation. Don't quote me on it, but it was like Operation. I want to say like Longwood or something like that, to where we're in the middle of the Cuba Missile Crisis and all that. And there was an operation supposedly where we were going to mortar our own troops to kind of get shit started with them. um, and he was like totally against it. He's like, no, I'm not doing that. And then supposedly he was supposedly trying to shut down like some three letter organizations or whatever, and then mysteriously comes up murdered. But
that's
I
a good
don't.
idea. Say three-letter organizations so nobody gets
Yeah,
canceled. Also,
right.
just don't cheat on your wife with a really hot sex symbol because something bad will happen to you. That's maybe the goal or the
Yeah, and
takeaway.
then you can look at her as well. Was she murdered?
Yeah. Oh, I
Did what?
know. I don't think she planned to OD. I don't know. She was too hot at the height of her career. So
Right.
that's
And then you go to the other people. You got Michael Jackson. You can look at all the other celebrities that OD. I don't know. Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't. But
yeah. Yeah. You got to be careful. So Johnny, because you're wise, you know what's going on. What's your advice for people that want to start singing and just get started on TikTok and these socials? What advice would you give them?
okay, so for sure, you're probably going to be overwhelmed and feel like you suck, starting out, but that's okay because we all do starting somewhere. It's just like anything, like working out or whatever. You're not going to see results in a week. Um, they always say practice makes perfect. Well, no, I mean, correct technique will. As long as you're doing that and keep doing that, you'll get there. But I would say keep pushing. Do not worry about the comments, because if you're posting just worrying about what people are going to say and like that, you're probably going to get your feelings hurt at the end of the day. So I would just say pick something you're passionate about, learn correct technique, and stick with it, and just keep on consistency, for sure.
I love
Uh,
it. And drink
and
Monster Energy drink.
oh yeah, all day, all day. And the thing too is stay true to yourself. Don't change because you see what somebody else is doing and try that. No, just stick to yourself. And then, if you're authentic, people's going to realize that, I believe, and, pick up on that and follow you because of who you are, I think.
I love that advice. Like, I think I tried to mold and be a more quiet, shy female years ago, and now I've come full term. Like, I'm a piece of shit, and it's great that like, I've admitted it. Like, I'm just kind of this asshole player that likes rock music, and it works for me. Well, thank you, Johnny, so much for taking time out of your day and stopping by Steph's Rock Show podcast. And I can't wait to post this, tag you, and watch your next lives and see what's going on.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
For sure, dude.
Really
Rock
enjoyed it.
on.